I'm here to talk about some bull. PowerA controllers. Now, in the 360 days, you could purchase a wired 360 controller made by Microsoft, a name brand controller. Well, you can't do that now. But the PowerA controllers, whereas before were not covered in this Xbox branding, now are in green boxes that say Xbox One. They're putting their name on it. That's a big step in my mind. Alright, so I want a wired controller, and I bought this Xbox One Spectra Fusion light up doohickey. It worked great for just under a year, and now it doesn't. Look at this slog in the freaking thumbstick. It's broken. It's legit broken. We started to notice that it was pulling down to the lower left, no matter what you did, even if you were doing nothing. And now it's just kind of just hanging in there like a hair on a biscuit, or whatever the right term would be. It's just, it'll stay down sometimes, it'll stay to the left sometimes. It's busted. And I'm not opening this thing up. God knows what I'm going to find inside with all this lighting effects and all that. There'll be springs and things popping out at me everywhere that I'm not going to be able to get back in here. It's not for me to do, man. I spent 50 bucks on this thing. If you're going to charge that kind of money, it better work for more than a year. Molly was primarily using it. I just don't want to get a lot of wear and tear on my wireless controller because it's the Signature Series one that goes with the system. Even I don't really use it that much. So I go and I pick her up a wired controller. Again, I'm seeing now the branding on all these. They're Microsoft controllers, but they're made by PowerA. That's not the same thing. And I'm like, oh man, all right, well, that's our only choice. Then I was willing to let this one go because it had been almost a year. I'm not expecting to get a warranty file on that. I mean, I don't even have the paperwork at this point. I mean, GameStop doesn't keep paperwork for more than a few months that I know of. So we picked up another one, just a regular black Xbox One controller, wired, PowerA. It's got these mappable button quick click thingies on the back though, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, we're not going to use that, but fine. Well, it turns out you got to set up some mapping and stuff right out of the box or it's not going to work right. And we do exactly what it says, and left is up and B is down and left bumper is A. This thing is just more freaking fricked up than a soup sandwich. There's absolutely nothing we can do with it. And at this point, I'm like, you know, we didn't even want this on the controller. You know, I don't know why you have this on here, but it doesn't work. So we got rid of it. And then I ended up on eBay from a third-party seller selling new products, buying, you guessed it, another PowerA controller, a liquid metal mini. Should be fine, right? Because, I mean, Molly's going to be the one using it. She's got little hands. She's only 9 years old. She's weak as a kitten. She's not going to put wear on these things. We're not even 2 months in. This thing doesn't work now. And these haven't even been on the market a whole year, so there's no reason this should not be covered under warranty. I know what you're thinking. She's a kid. She probably spilled something on it. No, I don't let her have drinks in here. I looked under the hood. The little gasket that goes between the buttons and the actuators is all pinched up in there. The nipples are inverting. They won't stay popped out. So when you depress the button, it stays that way. The button's actually not stuck. It's sunk. It won't pop itself back out. Every time you hit it, it's going to stay that way. So it's a defective part. I might can fix it, but that's not the point, man. Cover your crap. So at this point, I'm not buying another PowerA controller until I talk to them. I call the company, you know, we do the whole rigmarole, press 1 for sales, press 2 for warranty, press 2, and I get transferred to an overseas call center, and this lady just keeps shouting at me, go to the website. You have to go to the website. I was like, I'm on the website, so I got your freaking phone number. I wanted you to kind of take this under your wing and get it handled, you know? That's assuming you actually get paid to do something. I don't know, other than just answer the phone and tell me to go to the website, but I'm on the website. That's how I found you. She just kept saying, go to the website. Go to the website. You know what? I'll call back. Maybe I'll get somebody else. I call back, and this time I hit the sales button, and here's this guy. Hey, this is Ferdy McDurfle, how many controllers you want to buy? I was like, oh, okay. So I can call your office as long as I want to buy things, right? I can do that. But if I select warranty, you're subbing that out because you don't want to file one. I get it. You don't want to back. I already know at this point I'm not getting help. So the guy, though, he says the same thing. He's like, well, you just go to the website and you submit a claim, and what they're talking about was something I'd already done. It's just basically emailing them through a link. It's not a claim. I mean, it's just, hey, I have problems, please help me, which I'm on the phone already asking that, and you're already on the phone, so just freaking help me. How many times do I have to be put off on something else? And you email these companies, whoever the hell, you don't know if you're going to get a response back or not, or if so, when you're even going to get one. How long is too long? At what point do I need to email you back or be concerned that you're not going to call me back because I've already sent you an email and you haven't responded to it in 10 days? What's the etiquette here? What's the limit on the days? Well, it's been 3 months. Well, it's not enough time. Give it longer. I don't know. I've got you now. Why don't you just take this thing and walk me through it, or you do it. I'll give you the information. You got something better to do? You painting the frickin' office? What's the problem? God, these people, man. Like, what do you get paid to do? Other than tell me to hang up. I'm calling you. Anyway, he assured me somebody would respond. And to his credit, they did. And they had this laundry list of information they wanted from me. Well, I didn't have it on the first controller. Again, this was just too old of a purchase. In my mind, it still warrants a goodwill claim, but I was willing to let that go, and I let them know that in my response. But I had all the information off this, the package, the lot number, the yada yada, and hell, I had that off the label on the other one too, because it was actually on the body of it, and I gave them that for what it was worth. It took time to type all that up and look at all these stupid little numbers, and I'm doing this hoping that something's going to get done, but knowing probably nothing's going to get done. Got all that information typed in, did all the fields, made it nice and neat for them, sent it off, and I'm not kidding you, man. I mean, within just a few hours, they shot it right back. Oh yeah, we won't cover that because you bought it through a third party. I was like, man, you were quick to go ahead and play that card, weren't you? And I appreciate that you want to play that card. But again, this product hasn't even been out a year yet. All right. This is when the company says, hey, I realize this should not have failed. Here's a call tag or whatever. We'll get them back. We'll see why they failed and then go from there. At least make me think you're going to do something. I mean, they just bitch slapped me down to the pits of oblivion. No, we're not helping you. So I responded back. I was like, man, that was the wrong answer. All right. That was the wrong answer for a number of reasons. But that was the wrong answer. I said, I would have let the top one go. With the bottom one, this blue one, I need you to cover this one, man. It's not a year old no matter where it frickin' came from, and you know it. You should be asking to look at it and see why it failed, especially when I'm giving you specifics. And I didn't tell them I busted it open or anything. It's none of their business, quite frankly. The product's failed, and we know that it's failed. I said, but you made the wrong decision. I was like, if this is where you're leaving it, then I'm going to be glad to go to YouTube, social media, wherever I need to go to make sure everyone I know, everyone that watches this show will not buy your piece of shit controllers. And I know you catch more flies with honey. I'm all out of honey. All right, I'm so tired of dealing with companies like this. I do it all week long. Calling up people, getting transferred to call centers, finally getting somebody who gives half a shit, and even they won't do anything, and you got legitimate problems. Nobody wants to do business. Everybody just wants to put you off, but they want to take your money. The thing was like $20. Retail's probably about $25. I got a deal on it. But they don't want to cover it. So at this point, let's just step back from the whole thing. Yeah, the company doesn't want to cover their merchandise, their buttholes. That's fine. But let's just look at what this means to you. You cannot buy a wired controller for your Xbox One, assuming you have one, that's not made by these clowns. So in that, you can't buy a wired Xbox One controller. I mean, even this old 360 one I had from them, the fan in it died, and they wanted all that information back then to replace it. I don't use the fan. It made horrible noise and blew out the people's eardrums on the other end that were playing online with you because it transmitted a noise you couldn't hear. So I just left that off anyway when I used it. But to be fair, that's non-functional too. How many shitty controllers can you people put out? I mean, what are we at here? Here's 3 in the floor, and I've told you about a 4th one that's not here to be looked at. That's the whole point of this thing. Don't buy PowerA products, period. They make cheap trash, and they don't back it up. And I'm so tired of people saying, well, you get what you paid for. What I paid for was a working controller, you piece of shit. And that's not what I got. Again, you know, my daughter is weak as a kitten, 9 years old. This thing doesn't last 2 months. How the hell is it going to hold up against a 250-pound Dorito slurping, Dorito munching, Mountain Dew gulping turd in his basement playing a 48-hour Halo marathon? How's it going to stand up against that? Because that's who's buying these things. That's who it has to be tested against. You know, when they're testing the cars with the crash test dummies, or testing other structures with weight machines, you know, to really see if it can withstand the... That should be how they test these things. Get a 500-pound dork and let him just go on a dadgum Warcraft bender on PC with it and just see if it explodes. If it survives, then it should be great for kids. But no, it's obviously not. This thing couldn't pass any test. This thing's a turd sandwich. And after, I mean, once bitten, but God, I've got 4 stories now of crap controllers. Don't buy PowerA products. Don't ever bother calling them if you have a product fail. Just throw it out the window. Don't buy their products. Don't buy their products. What did you think about this review? Do you have PowerA products? Do you? Do you have PowerA products? Have you ever bought a PowerA product? Do you ever go to the store and buy a PowerA product? Did you get home with a PowerA product, play with the PowerA product? Do you like the PowerA product? Did the PowerA product break? Did you ever call PowerA products and they said, no, we're not going to replace the PowerA product? Did your friend have a PowerA product? Did your friend play with this PowerA product and the PowerA product break? Did your friend call PowerA products and they told him to fuck himself? I don't know. Leave it in the comments down there. I want to know all about it. If you have any stories of your own about PowerA products. At this point, it's whatever. They're not getting any more of my money. But I'd like to see just how widespread this goes. Because I'm a guy that has some bad luck, you know. If there's a bad one in the bunch, I'm going to get it. Just like I said on the hoary Super Nintendo control the other night. Mine was working like a champ. Millions of other people's aren't. What are those odds? I don't know. Got to be in the billions. But, yeah, leave me your stories in the comments. Love to get a conversation going with you if you've had a similar problem with PowerA products, and especially if you've tried to get it covered and if it actually was successful or if it wasn't. Maybe I haven't pressed hard enough. Maybe I should keep calling, but no one on the phone was interested in doing anything. That's the main thing I could take away from my experiences on the phone with them. And you know, that's par for the course with companies these days, and it sucks. It's always nice in that rare instance when someone says, hey, I'm so glad you called, and I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm going to take care of it, and I'm going to call you back in 24 hours and make sure that the wheels are turning on it. You know, that's such a rare experience these days. And you know, in all my years of retail sales and business with people, I've always been that guy. You know, just cradle to grave with it, man. Make sure you see things through, and then people remember that, man. And it doesn't matter if it's worth anything or not. I'm always the person to people that I wish they were to me. But unfortunately, that's the business model these days. These people would rather sell you a couple crappy controllers and then lose your business forever than maintain you as a customer throughout the lifespan of however many more systems we're going to have come out. Poop on a bun. Anyway, thanks for listening. I feel a little bit better after having talked about it. Emceemur signing off for now, and we will see all of you again next time.